Hey guys, in today's video, we will be checking out the latest F1 game EA has to offer. Right off the bat, the menu looks very similar to F1 24, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Firstly, let's look at the tracks. As you may have noticed, there are a few more tracks this year. 3 of these tracks are now reverse layouts of already existing iconic tracks like Silverstone, Zandvoort, and Austria. Like last year, a few more tracks have received visual updates using accurate laser scanning technology, which is certainly a positive step in the right direction. Nevertheless, here are the 2025 teams and driver lineup. Feel free to pause and have a look.
You can hear the Australian fans roaring as they line the track here in Albert Park. Welcome to Melbourne, and the roar from the crowd can only mean one thing. It's race day. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 14 corners and 3.28 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles per hour. The close proximity of the barriers make accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Yuki Tsunoda lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Piastri, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Norris, Russell, Antonelli, Hadjar, and Fernando Alonso, Lawson, Sainz, Alex Albon, and Stroll, Gasly, Behrman, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Jack Doohan. Ocon and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And with me for this commentary this afternoon, former racing driver Naomi Schiff. So here we are then at Albert Park. It's a street track. Well, it's not, it's a park track. People go for a nice Sunday afternoon stroll, but not this weekend.
Well, what a wonderful location. And today the challenge for them is going to be that this is a street circuit. So the probability of safety cars are quite high. There is a little bit of room for risk, but not much. So stay out of trouble.
Okay, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check. Radio check.
Well, it's certainly nice to see the addition of more radio responses in F1 25. This level of immersion was definitely missing in the last few games. But without further ado, it's lights out and the 3 laps around Albert Park begins now. Verstappen ahead of us being really feisty, twitching the rear quite a bit. The AI are holding quite a defensive line here, and Verstappen even keeping it around the outside of Piastri. And it doesn't look like either driver is going to concede position and are heading side by side down the narrow straight. So why not join them by absolutely lunging down the inside of Piastri? There's a little bit of tyre banging, but it's racing after all. Let's just quickly shift focus onto the graphics. The game looking very nice after the new graphical overhaul, with Australia, as you can tell already, being one of the new circuits receiving the accurate track layout, as we quickly return back to racing on board with Charles Leclerc, chasing down Yuki Tsunoda in the Red Bull, unlike in real life when he was racing for RB during the Australian Grand Prix earlier this year. And it looks to me that Charles Leclerc wants to overtake Yuki, but is completely left weeping as Tsunoda firmly shuts the door on Leclerc's face. I guess Leclerc will just have to wait, but I'm sure he won't let this one slide. But is there a chance here for Leclerc? He moves over to the left looking for a gap, but no. Tsunoda tightly holding the inside as there is nowhere for Charles to go. And it seems like a train is forming in the midst of this fight between Leclerc and Tsunoda. So there might be an opportunity later for others to join in too. But as we return onto the start-finish straight, will Leclerc get close enough to pass Tsunoda? I guess Leclerc is too far from Tsunoda, but we might have a chance to catch him napping and try to get into P2. We garner a slipstream from Charles and move over to the outside, hoping we can stick it all the way around as my teammate defends the inside line. But eventually, we get the overtake. A risky move showing that the AI are certainly capable of great defense. Leclerc can try, but I think we've got him. Anyway, let's focus on Tsunoda as we have DRS on him and we're gaining quite a slipstream. Tsunoda, quite frankly and predictably defending the inside line as we thunder down the straight at a rate of knots, and we hammer past going from left to right, a very brave overtake from us. Leclerc too, wanting to get in on the action, looking for the overtake as he bravely holds his ground around the outside, moving back up into P2. Let's quickly take a listen onto all the team's engine audio. We quickly return back as Leclerc is extremely under pressure from Yuki Tsunoda, but shows resilience by slamming the door shut on the man from Japan. Poor Yuki is unable to reclaim his P2. Meanwhile, Oscar Piastri is getting overtaken by his own teammate, who attempts a daring overtake for a last lap miracle, as we see Lewis Hamilton make a return to the top step of the podium for the first time in the Scuderia outfit.
And extending his already record-breaking winning record, it's Lewis Hamilton to the line for victory.
It's one thing to put fast laps together, but to make these moves stick without losing too much time, that's real racecraft.
From lights out to the checkered flag, each and every driver has this moment in the back of their mind. Now it's time for their celebrations. Our podium, it awaits. It's a familiar sight in Formula One, and here it is once again. Lewis Hamilton with the trophy held high, celebrating a masterful victory.